Welcome into DC On Screen, a podcast about the DC Universe properties that have been brought to film and television. I'm your host, David C. Robertson, and this is my ever-vigilant co-host, Jason.
Hello.
All right, guys. Now, we have released 2 episodes called DC Movies That Never Happened, parts 1 and 2.
Strangely, last time I checked, part 2 had more downloads than part 1. I didn't completely understand how that happened.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I don't really... Okay, whatever.
So this is just we got done with those. Like, I had scoured the internet and found a whole bunch of stuff, and we did 2 parts, and we cut them up into 2 episodes. And then shortly after that, I went and found others. Like, I was just looking around, wondering if I'd missed any, and sure enough, there were some that I had missed. And good Lord, it's been months since we did those episodes at this point. Really? I have not spoken with Jason about these, and it's been killing me. It has been killing me. I refused to send him a copy of the rundown for this episode because I wanted his genuine reaction here, which I usually get a really genuine reaction anyway, because he doesn't look into this stuff.
No, but I don't internet good enough.
He doesn't internet good enough. He's a very busy man.
Yeah. And, I go between busy and intolerably lazy.
Plus, I think it's important that we have an audience proxy on the show anyway.
Sure.
Audience proxy is good.
Sure.
Just giving you a peek behind the curtain, y'all.
No one needed that curtain pulled back.
So, we're going to talk about DC Movies That Never Happened, Part 3. And
I gather this is where it gets really off the rails somehow.
Oh, you're not wrong, sir. You're not wrong.
All right, I've waited long enough. Bring it.
All right, we're going to jump in here. This doesn't have a title, but in apparently June of 1989, Rolling Stone magazine did an interview with Adam West. Adam West was very mad. He was very upset. He dismissed the Tim Burton Batman movie as RoboCop in Gotham City.
Adam, you beautiful man. Oh, that's great.
And was angry because apparently he suggested that he should play Thomas Wayne. Well, actually, he suggested that he could still play Batman, and they ignored him, roundly ignored him.
Summarily dismissed.
And then he suggested that he could play Thomas Wayne, and as he puts it, they totally ignored me. Now, apparently, he tried to pitch, or he tried to get them to make a Batman movie some years earlier. Here is his rundown. Bruce Wayne had basically retired to his ranch in New Mexico. After having...
We all know about Batman's hobby of agriculture and farming. We all every time I've looked at Batman, I've thought, you know what? That's a man that's a rancher at heart.
Bruce Wayne retires to his ranch in New Mexico after having cleaned up Gotham City. Most of the main villains were in madhouses or penitentiaries. So I invented a new supervillain called Sun Yat Mars, who was heinous.
No, say that name again. Spell that name, for God's sake.
Sun, as in the sun, S-U-N. Yat, or Yat, Y-A-T. And then Mars, as in planet Mars.
Okay.
Sun Yat Mars, who was so heinous, he inspired to spring them on one horrible, stormy night, making them his minions, Marsies.
Oh, no. No.
Moreover, he was kidnapping college kids from all around the world, taking them to his zombie satellite, which was very alien looking.
You said the word zombie satellite.
Yes.
Oh, my God. I want...
No,
now I want an Adult Swim show called Zombie Satellite.
That could work.
It'd be perfect. It's a space station where a zombie outbreak happened, and now no one will come for them. So it's like 4 somewhat sentient zombies hanging around in a space station.
Yeah.
If anyone can make that work, it's Adult Swim. I'm looking at you, Brendan Small. Right, knock it out.
So there they marched about and would file in long lines into these terrible machines that sucked their brains out.
Of course.
So Adam West went on to describe that
he actually precursored convergence to some things, I suppose.
He went on to say, though, that there would be signs of alien invasion on Earth, and the film would also include moonlit romantic horse riding. And
that's so bad.
And here's my favorite part. Robin had retired as the Boy Wonder and was now, quote, a singing medical intern. He's chasing.
This is the worst thing I've ever heard. Oh my God.
He says he's a singing medical intern. He's chasing nurses around with his guitar.
Okay.
The Bruce Springsteen of Mercy Hospital, he says.
Oh, God. I'm just imagining Burt Ward chasing people around with his apparently legendarily sized dick hanging out.
What?
I'm imagining Burt Ward, obviously.
Well, okay.
There's rumor that he has a hefty endowment.
When did this come about?
Oh, this has been hanging around for since since
hanging around
since
Jason?
His Boy Blunder days. Yeah, man.
I don't remember seeing anything.
Oh, he tells whole stories.
Well, yeah, he tells whole stories.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's supposedly, allegedly endowed. He also claimed I don't know. He might have actually gotten laid as much as he says at the time because he was on every one of those little teeny bop magazines.
Sure. Oh yeah, definitely did. But
oh my God, I'm just imagining Burt Ward though with like his comically sized crotch piece and a guitar chasing young interns down through hallways.
So okay. Apparently, when that was clearly not going to happen,
God, why?
there was a thing that we'll refer to as Adam West's Super Bat.
Of course, I don't know that I've ever wanted anything in my life more than to see the movie he just described.
I know. I would pay good money for that.
I'd probably have to come home and burn every comic I've ever had after it, but I think I'd still do it.
So,
just set my entire garage.
Adam West apparently tried to get he tried to buy the rights to Batman.
God, that would have been fun.
He couldn't.
Just plain couldn't afford it.
I don't know what exactly that. He tried to get the film rights to Batman. And so when that didn't happen, well, here's what he said. I also wrote a thing called Super Bat when it was clear I'd never get film rights to the Batman character. It was a hybrid of Batman and Superman, who came from another galaxy, but he now lives in this vast cave.
Oh, God.
Now, from everything...
I don't think I needed I don't think I needed him to tell me it was a hybrid.
Yeah.
What did he want to do with this abomination?
He actually didn't say a whole lot about it. The only thing... so far as we can tell, the only powers he has are living in that vast cave.
And being otherworldly.
And Adam West actually specifically mentions that that this Super Bat is so rich he can do anything. God. That's his powers: being rich and living in a big cave,
and having an immigration status.
No, he also mentioned though that he hated working the convention circuit. And he says at personal appearances, I'll only stay in costume for about 15 minutes, then get out and mingle. It's no fun to do it, really. I mean, I make it fun, but it's work. It takes a great deal of energy to play Batman. But then, of course, I have my secret life that I tell no one about. You know, when I wear the costume to orgies.
You know the one. Oh, God. Somewhere Board is probably doing the same thing.
Yeah. No,
trying to sell all the people at the orgy dog food.
That wasn't Adam West's last pitch for Batman.
Of course not. I'm sad that he didn't return with the zombie satellites today. He's already talked about space.
Right.
Make it a combo. Like while his ship's coming in from another galaxy, he destroys the zombie satellite. One zombie falls to the earth. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. No, there's a
Zombies on Mars. It's great.
This is direct quote. This is all we have on this. This is direct quote from Adam West.
Wait, that's how it happens. He hits the zombie satellite. One zombie ends up on Mars, and that's how we get this Mars character, the Sun-Tak Mars guy.
Sun Yet Mars.
Right. He gets pissed off because we littered his planet with zombies, so he comes back to let everyone out and get Batman off the goddamn ranch.
Why is he? Oh, okay. In Mexico. I just don't understand.
Ratchet.
So he pitched a musical.
Oh, of course he did.
It was called A Night in Wayne Manor, and
I'm hearing.
So he said, "This is
get it home."
Yeah,
already.
This is This is his what he said about it. At another point, I went to DC Comics and tried to sell them on the idea of a big Broadway play called A Night in Wayne Manor, which could have been a musical, but by then no one would touch Batman. The movie was in the works.
I'm not sure that's the reason that failed, Adam.
Right?
I'm not sure that's what happened. Did they let Adam West into the DC Comics offices anymore at this point? Because I would have had his picture at the photo desk of the security guard. If you see this man, distract him. Throw something very shiny in the other direction. Direct him to a nearby orgy.
Right. Like, throw some stale bread over the counter. He'll get distracted.
Right.
Food I haven't eaten in 25 years.
Take it. Just get a big, giant bag of M&Ms, lay them down about 3 feet from each other, and guide him to some other lot.
Now, Michael Uslan, for years, was trying to get a Batman film made in the 70s, and no one wanted to do it because, well, we'll get into that. But he was trying to get a Batman movie made, and he was trying to pitch the character as much as he could. The only people interested were CBS.
Really?
CBS wanted to do a Batman movie, but it had to be Batman in outer space.
Why? Why?
I don't know, but there's no more information on it because DC roundly rejected the concept.
Good for you, DC.
Right?
Oh, man.
Now, speaking of Michael Uslan...
Like, had to be in outer space? This is Batman's version of that giant fucking spider.
Mm-hmm. So, Michael Uslan, he was... you gotta give it to the guy. He loves Batman a whole lot. I've listened to interviews with this guy. He's also really weirdly conservative. Like, really weird. Like, I happened to hear him, like, on the radio one night. I was flipping through the radio, and this dude was talking, and he's like, "Oh, we've got Michael Uslan," and I'm like, "Bing, I know that name." And he's like, "Oh, this Dark Knight Rises is coming out," and Dark Knight Rises was thought to have been pretty political before it came out, and we all realized it was just horseshit.
You're right,
but
there's going to be a statement there for a second, and we'll go back and listen to our thoughts on that.
It wound up being like the Rusty Humphrey show, which is a very conservative talk show, and he's talking... I get the feeling that he didn't exactly tell Michael Uslan that he was a conservative talk show. And they're just talking about Batman, and then, like, he's getting Michael Uslan to agree to all this, like, really conservative sentiment, like...
Oh, God.
Like, anti-welfare, like, and like, at the time, it was like, what was it? Occupy Wall Street or whatever it was. Yeah. And, like, Uslan was really against it and just talking about how stupid it was. And I was just like, he's okay.
He's biting off more than he can chew. That's not going to end well.
He shouldn't be making these comments.
Uslan, hang up the phone. Hang up the phone now.
But anyway, so Uslan was trying to get this or something off the ground for Batman, and no one believed in it. Like, they would, well, as he put it, they would tell him Batman is a pot-bellied funny guy with pals, zaps, and whams. It's silliness. And I would tell them, no, it's not. And they wouldn't get it. Even when I showed them the dark Batman comic books and the old stuff and the new stuff, and they and those were the only ones I showed to Tim Burton. My biggest fear was that somehow Tim would get a hold of the campiest Batman comics, and where would we be?
Right.
But to try to get interest, Uslan sat down and worked on a script called Return of the Batman. This predates Dark Knight Returns.
Really?
And it was really dark and really gritty. And it was, I don't know where you can find it though. But it was never, like, he never wrote it for it to be produced, but just to kind of prove a point.
All
He
right.
said it helped him convince a few people in Hollywood of what he was trying to accomplish, though.
I mean, he had a silly dream at the time.
It was a silly dream, but look where we are now, though.
It was a noble dream.
Now, some of this I may have spoken about, and I can't remember. But I thought, like, did we talk about the Nightwing movie?
Not to my recollection.
Yeah, they were going to do a Nightwing movie.
Okay.
That was going to be basically the next step in the Schumacher franchise before Batman and Robin flopped. They were going to do like a spinoff where Robin goes off to become Nightwing. He was still going to be around in the eventual. Like, he was going to be Robin, and then they were going to like trail him off into a Nightwing movie. And Chris O'Donnell actually said like they were totally going to do one. I was going to be Nightwing. I mean, his suit looked like Nightwing in Batman and Robin. And then he said it was such a bomb, Batman and Robin, that they were like, scrap that. And that was the end of that.
That sounds exactly right. He would have looked a lot better in a Nightwing outfit than he did Robin's.
Yeah. I mean, look
think
at the
black and blue would have fit him a lot better.
Well, the red and blue or the red and dark blue or whatever it was in Batman and Robin with the Nightwing symbol on it, actually looked really good. I liked his costume a lot in Batman and Robin, except for the nipples.
Would you in a Sophie's Choice kind of way? If I told you I could get rid of the nipples, but you'd have to have a mullet on Nightwing, and you can't just say I'm not watching it either way, or that you're going to kill yourself.
Oh, I'd watch it. It's a Batman thing. I'd watch it. It's just
mullet or nipples.
I'd take the nipples over the mullet.
That bad? Yeah, I don't blame you. It's one of the aberrations of the entire DC canon for me. That freaking hairstyle for a while there, man. And then when it wasn't a mullet, it was a rat tail. Like, what the hell were you doing to this guy? Why?
What was funny is like in the 90s, for some reason, they like had, it was real weird to me. Like, he didn't have the mullet. He just had like really long hair, and he would always like just pull it back tight and he had like a really long ponytail. But for whatever reason, they would color him about 3 shades darker than Bruce. Like his skin. And like when I was a kid, like I didn't know that was Robin. I would just kind of went to the comics and I'm like, who's this cool Indian dude who's hanging out with with Batman all the time? He's like Native American man, and he's called Nightwing. That sounds like a Native American Indian name, like,
right?
Little Bigfoot, Nightwing,
right?
I don't know. And forever I didn't know that was Robin. I was just like, I like this guy.
He's a cool cat. Maybe he should stay around for a while. And then he goes back into Dick Grayson's outfit, and you're like, oh my God, how did you turn into a white guy?
Yeah.
What have you done with my Indian friend?
Like my dad has like full-blooded like Native American in his family, and he's always been really into that stuff. And I remember actually going and showing him the comic. Like, look, they have like an Indian dude in the comics, and he doesn't have feathers or a dream catcher or
right. It's really pretty progressive. Oh wait, it's a white dude.
I was proud of him.
Right.
Yeah, and then I realized he was some
it's a colorist.
some gypsy lad.
Right.
He was some gypsy lad of as they've described him in the comics. Oh, okay. So, okay. That's weird. It's Dick Grayson. So, did we talk about Tim Burton's Catwoman?
Yes, actually.
Okay. I know I didn't talk about this. I found more information on Tim Burton's Catwoman.
Hit me up.
All right. So we know that it was like Batman Forever came out, and the day it hit cinemas was the day that Daniel Waters handed in the script for Catwoman, and that was pretty much the end of that.
Right.
However, I found some bits. This is what it involved. This was what the script involved. It would have had Catwoman suffering amnesia. And she winds up in a place called Oasisville, which is apparently the Bat Universe's answer to Las Vegas, and it's run by superheroes, where she encounters terrible, flawed male superhero types that push her back into the Catwoman identity.
I am already at a what the fuck is happening here point.
It sounds like an episode of The Tick.
Like
Oasisville? It sounds like it sounds like an episode of The Tick.
It does, actually. Now, what did the mean boys do to her, though? Are they superheroes or super villains that are running them? What?
It says superhero types.
Superhero types. What the hell is a superhero type?
I don't know. I really don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
I just imagine like a bunch of like Superman parodies walking around. I don't know.
Is it just like a city full of Nathan Fillions? all with sleazy gold chains.
I would move to that city
In a heartbeat, man.
if it was a city full of Nathan Fillions.
Yeah. I'd assume every now and then they would break out into song and they would all sing together. It'd be great.
Man's gotta do.
Ooh, my.
Man's gotta do. All right.
I have some lightning happening on my side of town.
Ooh.
Sorry.
So there's a thing we missed out on, man.
Mm-hmm.
This was an animated movie called Justice League Worlds Collide.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to bridge the gap between Justice League Season 2 and Justice League Unlimited Season 1.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Well, that would have been great.
We were going to find out how Wonder Woman got her invisible jet.
Yeah.
It was going to talk about the expansion of the Justice League membership.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it was going to have the crime syndicate involved.
Wow.
Yeah, it was going to be a big thing, and it was canceled. They put it on hiatus, and then they changed it over to Justice League Crisis on Two Earths or whatever.
Oh, okay. That's a damn shame, though. I wouldn't have minded. It's something that actually bothered me about going between them was, you had Justice League and then it was Unlimited, and it was a slightly different show.
Mm-hmm.
All the same, it was all the same continuity and everything, and nothing too distracting here. I wouldn't have minded a transition stage at all.
And here's another big shame. Dwayne McDuffie worked on it. Mm-hmm. This is the guy that created Static Shock, and is, sadly no longer with us. Mm-hmm. But Bruce Timm in 2004 said, at this point it was still in the works. He says there is a Justice League DTV in the works. Kind of. What happened was the home video division commissioned us to write a Justice League DTV right around the time we were gearing up for season 3. McDuffie and I came up with a story. Dwayne wrote a terrific script. I designed loads of new characters. We started storyboarding. Andrea Romano had a killer cast. We were just getting ready to record it, and then home video slammed on the brakes.
Really?
Yeah. Home video slammed on the brakes.
If Andrea Romano's involved, it's a killer cast.
Yeah, home video slammed on the brakes, and it was put on the shelf for the time being. The good thing, this is a good thing, really. The original plan was to do the DTV and Season 3 concurrently, but long story short, we would have been stretched way too thin. Mm-hmm. JLU is difficult enough show to do by itself without having to prep a feature-length movie at the same time.
Yeah.
Home video is still apparent.
Ask him about how much fun it was to do Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah. Home video is still interested in making it, apparently, so hopefully it'll happen. And then in 2005, he says Worlds Collide was going to bridge seasons 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. Besides the origin of the Invisible Jet, it also set up the supersized JLU concept. But it wound up becoming Crisis on Two Earths. I really wish we had seen this. Like, part of me does anyway.
I really did. That one I would have been happy to have.
Mm-hmm. Now there was another animated DTV that didn't happen, which was Teen Titans: The Judas Contract, and it would have loosely followed the storyline from the comics, but it was canceled due to a lack of quote broad fan base appeal.
The Titans they clean up every time they're on screen?
Yeah.
I mean, every single time they're on screen. I'm still mad that Young Justice didn't get more time.
I know.
It was a damn good show, actually.
I know. Now I guess we're gonna end this out with one more thing.
Okay.
This is something I was talking to you about before.
Uh-huh.
The pre-Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago, Warner Brothers and they were looking to do a Gotham show, and they called it Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. God, it followed 18-year-old Bruce Wayne before he became Batman. Mm-hmm. They wound up taking the concept and turning it over and making it Smallville eventually.
Okay.
But before it became Smallville, it was Bruce Wayne. And the reason they didn't do Bruce Wayne is because they were actually working on doing the Batman Year One script. They thought they were going to do Batman Year One.
As a feature?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were going to do Year One as the feature, and then they didn't want to do the show. So
Gotcha. I wish they had done it, though, so when Nolan pitched Batman Begins, they would have been told, oh, we've already done that.
Mm-hmm. But
saved us all a lot of trouble, guys. Could have saved us all.
So Tim McCanley's is the one that pitched the show,
mm-hmm.
and the pilots, and he did the pilot script. This is the guy that wrote the Iron Giant. And after that made it to film, he was able to do this, and he said it would focus on Batman's origins, but what happens in the intervening years between the death of Bruce Wayne's parents and his decision to put the cowl on. He says everyone knew the origin, they just didn't know why and how. Here's something cool. HBO was in talks to broadcast this thing. Then Warner Brothers
that's
TV.
That's the closest you've ever gotten to your dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry for you.
Then,
I am.
I know. Then TV. Then Warner Brothers.
Did it hurt less when you didn't think it had ever even gotten close?
I don't know.
Did it hurt more to see the word HBO there when you read it?
It made me laugh, actually.
That's fair too.
So Warner Brothers decided it could be a big deal, and but then also realized that they were doing year one, and they decided to pull their support of it.
Right.
Now they got into the stages of actually talking to people about playing these characters. X-Men Shawn Ashmore was apparently in talks to play Bruce. David Krumholtz was apparently rumored for Jim Gordon, and Michael Rosenbaum was going to be Harvey Dent.
Oh, wow.
And somewhere in there, someone remembered him and cast him as Lex Luthor on Smallville.
Gotcha. Liked his tape.
Right? I guess.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
So that's all I got for this episode. That's my rundown. That's what's happening. We'll have another part 4 maybe some way if you go penetrate the internet further. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, I penetrate the internet on a consistent basis. Mm-hmm. So I know the internet biblically. Right. And it's in a family way now. In some ways, like some of this maybe was not worth a whole podcast, but dude, those Adam West projects. No, that Adam West is worth everything to me. And I had to talk about Adam West. I don't know what to tell you, man. 2 words: zombie satellite. Zombie satellite. Marzies, good, y'all. Marzies. Fucking Marzies. Oh man, he must have done a lot of drugs at one point in his life. I'm not sure he could have afforded them. West? I don't know. I mean, now whenever I think of Adam West, think back to the time now. Surely somebody in a room would, pass a blunt to Batman. Probably, you're not wrong. I forget about that. I forget people are pretty. I guess generous with drugs for people they like. I take it back. I'm not sure he did or what I'm sure about is that he either did too much or too little drugs. Yeah, that's a possibility. I was just, but he didn't hit that sweet spot, I guess. I'm thinking of Adam West as in the years between Batman and Family Guy. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of Adam West as basically Simon Trent from Beware the Grey Ghost. He's just in like a little 1-room apartment trying to eke out a menial existence. I'm almost sure he was doing okay. He meets Burt Ward every Tuesday for lunch down at the Greasy Spoon. Lunch and a 3:00 orgy. It's back. They make sure that they're not busy so that they can pitch another Batman movie to DC. And he goes and checks out Burt's dogs who have apparently been alive for like 35 years. Take pictures of Burt Ward's penis for the black market. Right. Next to like a quarter for perspective, They actually popularized banana for scale. Oh no. And on that note, I think that wraps it up, man. I think so. I'm just gonna go bathe in the warm afterglow of that fucking Adam West pitch is what I'm gonna do. Right. I'm just gonna bask in it. Just close my eyes and imagine the film that I wish had happened. Yeah. Ultimately, though, are you happy that I kept this one close to the vest? Oh yeah. Alrighty. Well, good. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as Jason did. This is just a great relief. This is a burden because I've been wanting to talk to Jason about these Adam West pitches for like months. Right. It's almost been a pain. Just I think I'm at least 15% further away from a heart attack now. Right. Your blood pressure just actively dropped, not having to carry that around anymore. Right. We are DC On Screen. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and DCOnScreen.com. We are a part of the Giant Size Team Up Network, a proud member, we will say. And also, proud members, the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. Our friends Matt Carroll and Jeff Randall do a fantastic job over there talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter and all of the new Avengers and Captain America and all that stuff coming out in theaters. They talk about all that stuff. They've done reviews of Daredevil. I'm over there sometimes doing reviews and stuff. So we've had a lot of fun with those guys too. Yeah. So go check those guys out. And we'll be back next week.
Starting new things.
Yeah,
we're gonna have new things to pitch soon.
Do you remember what our show was going to be next week? Because I forgot already.
Next week?
Yeah.
I believe
What's next week
is a preview of Gotham.
Oh, well then.
Yeah.
We're just going to dive right in, huh?
Ours is going to be longer than 7 minutes.
It will be longer than 7 minutes.
I mean, we could spend 7 easy minutes just talking about how annoyed we are with Barbara.
Probably.
Yeah, we're going to give a quick, what to expect, where we think they're going, what are we looking forward to, what are our hopes and dreams, what are we afraid of?
I'm afraid of Gotham season 2. That's what I'm afraid
Barbara
of.
still there? How many villains does it take to change a light bulb, and so on?
Cool. So next week, Gotham season 2, what to expect, as well as our obligatory news episode.
It's
Until
a pleasure,
then,
sir. A pleasure.
Until then, keep some DC on your screen because we're going to, specifically the 90s Flash series.
Yeah, that's going to take some time. We're studying it just in case.
Shirley Walker couldn't save it.
No, she tried. God help her.
Anyway, take it easy, guys.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Are you struggling to lose weight and keep it off? Tired of wasting time and money on starvation diets that lead to more frustration and stress? If there was a weight loss solution that could actually work for you, would you try it? Then head to Golo.com.
I'm Steve. I lost 138 pounds in 9 months on Golo.
I'm Amber. I've lost 128 pounds with Golo.
If you're ready to take back control of your life, head to Golo.com now and see how Golo can work for you. That's Golo.com.
My sleep is way better. My inflammation has gone way down. Golo saved my life. I was way overweight. That's what sent me down the path. I wanted to make sure and live for my kid.
I have literally tried everything. I was on the verge of getting gastric bypass surgery, and I saw the Golo commercial, and it was the last thing I tried because it worked.
Join over 2 million people who found a better way to lose weight with Golo. Your healthier and happier life begins at Golo.com. That's Golo.com. Again, Golo.com.